set up, they're out here farming.
Oh hi, it's the next day as you can already tell. I'm at school. I bought me a new car. So yeah. Let's smoke some weed for a day. Why not?
I might flank left here. Definitely gonna flank left. Yeah, I see one. He's right. Chris, there's one behind it. One's behind the tower, I think.
Plus he's your side now, the tower.
Yeah, I see him.
Are you still alive, Chris?
Yeah.
Alright.
No, I think I killed you.
Oh, okay,
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I don't care. Is he dead though, that guy?
Yeah, all dead, I think. All
There's three though.
Yeah, 3 dead.
Oh, we got them all? Okay, shuffle that gear out of there, bro. Nix was able to clutch and kill the last 2 guys, and we had all of the gear secured for now. But as you guys know, more people always show up.
Oh! Did you see where?
He's back there, over the hill. I don't know where.
Oh god, I'm dead.
He killed you?
He's lying in the ground, he's lying.
He might see me here. Oh my god, there's 2 ghillies in front of me. I'm dead here.
Spray them.
Hold up. Getting behind him. One's dead. It's full ghillie. There's teammates somewhere over here. The guy that I just shot didn't seem to be the same sniper that just killed Mnix, and I knew the actual sniper had to still be camping somewhere out in the woods. All I needed was him to shoot one more time so I could find his exact location. I don't see that dude who sniped you. See if he kills me or not. Yeah, he's still sniping, I'm guessing. Oh, I see him. He's still on the edge of the map. He's hit with 2 Kavari rounds. He's not dead yet. Yeah, he's still running.
Oh,
He's not even limping, I don't think.
nice.
Did I kill him?
Let's go.
Yeah, you killed.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the only one though? That's the question.
Nice, man.
Keep camping the edge of the map, man.
I think that's all.
Hopefully it is, yeah.
It turned out that those were the last 2 guys around, and now we at least had the high tier guns and armor we needed. Right afterwards, we ran towards the marked room in Grizovi to see what we could find. Sulfur? Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. Overall, this loot run helped me progress a lot towards my goal, so I made my way home in high spirits. But as I approach the barn, I see a guy running away from our base into the forest. I'm chasing his ass down.
With Hades.
You're probably right. I hadn't thought of it, but this was very likely the same Hades guy that's been door camping us, because he ran right up from our base into the woods out of nowhere. I badly wanted to track him down to his base and raid him.
That's in front of you.
That's him. Rushing down. Where'd he go?
Left. To the left.
Look at these trees, or?
Yeah.
lost him, to be honest. We tried chasing this guy, but the trail went cold in the village of Kozlovka. Right now I had bigger concerns like building up the base, but I would definitely come back and investigate the village later on when I had time. Once I'm back in base, I officially set down the first rabbit trap as a test to see if we could actually catch something from the inside of the building. While I waited for the results from that, I just worked on boarding up the base some more. Look at this rabbit. I didn't even realize I was too busy. We got a hare. That's 3,000, man. Not only were the traps a success, they caught rabbits pretty quick. So we would set a few more each time, and this started to pay for all of the nails we were spending on the base. I was actually running out of space to hold all of the meat from the rabbits, so I threw down a fridge to temporarily hold it until I had time to sell it. I had been meaning to sell and do major construction to the base for a while now, but I kept getting sidetracked, and this time a few of my friends told me that there was a massive fight going down at the airfield, and I really didn't want to miss out, so I made my way over there. On my way to the airfield, I could feel the cold wind on my head, and that made me think of the sponsor of today's video, Keeps. Keeps is an affordable online subscription service. Help your hair feel and look good. Chances are. Thanks again to Keeps for sponsoring the video, and now back to the story. Oh, he's shooting back.
You killed him!
No way you killed
You
him.
killed him!
Yeah.
You cheated me!
Oh, that face cocksucker.
Yeah, now your base is getting kicked down too. Fucking double whammy for you.
Nah, you such for that, bro. Ain't no way. No.
Hey, what are you doing? There's two. Heli coming
Heli.
back.
Uh-oh. We got company, boys.
Heli might have dropped somebody off. It was flying real low.
One of the guys inside started building, which is always a reassuring sign when you're raiding a base. Hopefully they wouldn't have too many gates.
It's another joint.
Ah, it's another tier 3.
Jesus.
Wait there, watch this window. He could be in this window. Oh, there's 2 windows, bro. This is a good defense.
Look how open it is though after this one.
I'm gonna plank. You guys hold both windows? He's
It's
right behind the
another
gate, I think,
joint.
boys.
He's above.
Killed him.
Good shit, bro. Nice.
He killed him?
Yep.
And another one bites the dust.
Someone's next to me.
Yeah.
Real next to me.
Might have killed him. Did I
He
kill him?
killed him. He killed him.
Good shit, Chris, man. He's clutching up right now. Alright, next ones are set.
That heli might have dropped more than one off though.
Oh, definitely. Without a doubt. Oh, yes sir, it's open. Okay, but holy shit, it's a murder
What the
hole, man.
fuck?
Oh my god.
There's like no way in.
What? Is this
There's
like a
no way
trap?
in.
On the ladder.
Oh, that's a dirty hold, man.
Or you gotta fucking go over the hay bales, maybe. He's over here, my side. I heard him like right behind me.
Wait, is it one of those windows?
Yeah. He's right here. Should I just go for it?
What, he's on the same level as you?
Yeah, I think so. Should I just go
Fuck
for
it,
it?
fuck it, go for it, man. We gotta do something.
Tier 3 hatch here.
I'm coming up. Oh, I got pushed off.
So we will have to go through a tier 3.
Where is it? Right, this hatch right here?
Over here.
There's another floor hatch here too.
Here, on me.
Oh, okay.
Because he's right below us right here. Oh, you hit him. He's bandaging.
Did I?
Yep. Right under me somewhere.
Alright, I'm gonna place.
Yep. Need help, buddy. It didn't roll far enough.
Someone's outside?
Yep, somebody's outside.
He's running around front.
Yeah, first one.
Strat got him, I think.
Somebody outside again?
Watching the front gate.
Yeah, it's
Front
easy.
door.
Sold.
Yeah, I think I hit him.
You broke him a leg. One dead. Both dead, by the way.
Nice.
We have another join.
Alright, boys, this is it.
We gotta see loot.
Oh, yes, I see loot as well. It looks all open, dude. But we're gonna get stun locked if we drop.
That we are, but if
You
we
have a
don't
grenade?
drop on 3,
No,
I
he
do.
can gun us. Throw a grenade first, then we'll go. They're in like the deep corner.
Hit in.
Here's some moving, so we can hear him.
I throw another one on this other side.
Yeah, do it. I haven't heard him in a minute.
I might have killed him with a nade. Another nade in.
I mean, I'll go in. It's
Same.
risky.
I killed him. He's dead. He's dead.
You killed him with a grenade? Oh, no.
I killed him with something.
Did I
Clear
clear
it.
him?
Oh, this is loot. This is main loot. Oh my god, my FPS.
Oh boy.
My
Oh,
God!
back here.
Oh.
You're good.
Dead.
Let's go, baby.
That's the vault right there.
This is a lot of loot.
That's the vault. God, it's so laggy, man. Already got a C4. I got one back at least.
Nice.
I think everything's gonna be in these locked lockers. Nice. Dude, look at the fuck. I don't know where to start with all this shit, man. Oh, they have a lot of concrete though.
They do have some sheet metal in here.
Another homemade?
Yeah, don't really care. Goodbye.
What does he say?
So the only thing you're really gonna get out of there is building supplies.
Shouldn't have shot my heli, dickhead. They shot at us, man. We should have done.
That is facts.
It's time.
Here I come to burn your gear, fella. Get me over there.
Ladder up, Johnny boy.
Yes, sir. Can do.
It's a beautiful sight.
And it goes the game.
We began burning some of these guys' best guns and base building supplies, but I don't want you guys to feel bad for them because we did leave around 70% of their stuff, and we didn't even bother cracking into their safes where they most likely had all their cash and C4s. Whether they actually came back and rebuilt the base, I don't know because we didn't stick around to find out, but they had a lot of their stuff still. God. We just took down a fortress, fellas.
And just like that, we fly away into the sunrise.
I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for the support, and if this gets 1 million views, I will be making chicken farms.
All in today's work. Take the goodies out of the heli, man. I'll see you on the other side.
What else did I watch?
In Beijing, they even use surveillance technology to stop people from taking too much toilet paper in a matter of...
Hi there, I'm Joe. My parents left me in the streets when I was born, but I was picked up by a mafia boss, and now they regret their decision. But first things first, shout out and credit to Zeno. Today's story is inspired by your title idea. Remember to post your new title ideas in the comments below. It needs to be an original story, something we haven't done already. Give a like to the ones you would like to see animated. For the most active members who create very popular titles, we will contact you to join a secret server on Discord to offer you behind-the-scenes access. For now, let's jump straight into today's thrilling story. I never knew my parents growing up. All I know was that they left me in a basket in an alley at the back of the restaurant one cold winter night. I would have died. I was still a baby. Only a day old, they tell me. Luckily, a boy named Salvino went out the back of the restaurant to take out the trash, and he heard me crying. He rushed into the restaurant, and within seconds, Salvino's mom, his dad, and all the diners who were having their Christmas dinner rushed out to look at the abandoned baby next to the dumpster. The only thing my parents left on me was a silver necklace with a locket shaped like a leaf and a photo inside it. The photo was ripped off, leaving only my face. But I could see someone was holding me in the photo. Her hand was holding me upright. Salvino's mom, Ava, took me, wrapped me in her scarf, and held me close. She cried and thanked the heavens. She had recently lost a child in childbirth. A boy, like me. And to her, at that moment, I was a sign. Abe, Salvino's dad, held his wife's arms and peered down at the tiny baby, which was me, and said aloud for everyone to hear, "It's a Christmas miracle!" And it really was. For me, anyway. I would have frozen to death if they hadn't found me. If Salvino hadn't been nice enough of a son to listen to his dad when he asked him to take the trash out. Abe and Ava took me in, and from the moment I could talk, I started calling them Mom and Dad. From the moment I could walk and read, they started bringing me into the restaurant. Everyone who went there loved seeing me. Mom and Dad always referred to me as their miracle baby, and I sort of became a mascot for the place. Guests would always ask if I was there before they were even seated, and I would teeter and totter from behind the counter as a toddler and hand the menus out to the customers. Sal was a great brother to me. He taught me things and took care of me when Mom and Dad were busy. He taught me games we would play to pass the time, and he gave me my first ever console. It was his, but he gave it to me one Christmas because he didn't have any money to buy me a gift. I thought it was the sweetest thing anyone's ever done for me. When I started going to school, I saw less and less of Dad. He was always away on what he called business trips, and Mom would always go with him. And I always wondered about that.
Let's pause it. Head to the compound. Head to bed. Wake up in the morning. Head to school. Move. Hey Mom, can you let me in? Sure, son. Thanks. Welcome back, boss. Yeah, welcome back. Thanks. I need some of you to guard out front of the gate. Got it? Got it? Good. Head upstairs, head to bed, wake up in the morning, head to school. Father in the morning. Let's head to school now, I guess. Unlock my car. See you, boss. See you, boss. See ya. Move. Lock it. Still here. Press play, smoke some weed
His business was the
for a
restaurant.
day.
So why would he fly in and out of the country if his business was right here? Until one day, on the day I turned 12, Mom and Dad never returned. They were supposed to be home by 3 that afternoon for my party. The restaurant was full with all of our family friends and the loyal customers who wanted to celebrate my birthday with our family. But an hour rolled by, and a couple more, until all that was left of the restaurant were me, Sal, the chefs, and the waiter.
This calls for ice, soothing gel, and some already harvested honey.
Sal took me home and tucked me in that night, and they promised they gave me a new life, treated me as if I was their own son. And now, so suddenly, they were gone. Sal grew up that very moment. I saw it change him. One moment, he was a kid just like me. And the moment he accepted that Mom and Dad were gone, he became an adult. He took care of me. He ran the restaurant, and pretty soon he was gone most of the time too, just like Mom and Dad were before. It was then that I found out what the real family business was. Our family was the head of a mafia organization, and Dad was away so frequently to deal with mafia business. Sal told me his enemies finally got to him and Mom, and that they were behind that plane crash. I started taking care of the restaurant at the tender age of 12. Meanwhile, Sal took control of our organization. 2 brothers doing 2 very different jobs. I learned to be a chef from our chefs, and I became the manager of the restaurant. And in a few years, our restaurant became even more famous than before, attracting all sorts of articles and media attention for the teenager chef who ran it. Sal didn't like that. The more attention I got, the more likely it was that people will look into our operation. that could put our organization in hot water. So, I lay low. I quit the restaurant and put it in the hands of our head chef. That was when I started working alongside my brother. Little by little, Sal trained me to be his right-hand man. It's just you and me now, Joe. It's up to us to keep Dad's legacy going. I know. And I'll be here, bro. I'll protect you just as you saved me all those years ago. I'll make Mom and Dad proud. I trained in every deadly martial arts you could think of. Krav Maga, Kali, Kung Fu, Karate. I even tracked down the last living ninja in Japan and paid him millions just to train me. I became Sal's bodyguard. Whenever he would go meet with other mafia bosses or with the people who ran the city, I would be there, ready to kick people's butts if they needed kicking. Together, we traveled all around the world in a private jet that Dad left to us, making deals and collecting money from our various enterprises. And I quickly found out that the restaurant wasn't a simple restaurant at all. It was simply our headquarters and a safe house. One of the fridges was fake, and when you open its doors, it leads to a hole in the wall with stairs that go down to a basement I didn't even know existed. Everything was going well. I was Sal's right-hand man, and our operations were running smoothly. Until one day, when I was sent out on a mission downtown. An establishment that owed us a huge chunk of money was in trouble. Their business had failed 3 times, and every time, they'd borrowed money from us. And because they'd borrowed so much, when their business failed a 4th time, Sal no longer allowed them to borrow any more. And so, they borrowed from another place, our rivals. And now, Sal wants me to shake them down. I knocked on the door, but there was no answer. I looked around the building, and I could clearly see that the lights were on, and I could hear people whispering. I knocked again. Again, no answer. I'm not gonna knock a 3rd time, I announced to the people who I knew were inside. With one click of my fingers, my men broke the door down with a battering ram, and they ran inside. There were screams. They brought me the people inside. One man that looked to be his wife and their daughter. I felt bad. The daughter looked really pretty, too. I wouldn't want to have to ruin her life for the sins of her parents. But the more I looked at them, the more they seemed familiar. Had I met them before?
Let's have another joint.
I knew you were in there. Why not just be nice and open the door, huh? Make it easier for you to kill us. Jeez. Nobody's gonna kill you, old man. I'm just here to collect. If you can't pay us back, you shouldn't really be borrowing from someone else. Much less our rivals. Now that you have some money, shouldn't you be paying us first? It's gone. What? The money, it's all gone. I see. Well, I'm not gonna kill you, but I'll have to Her hair was a mess and her cheeks were red from fear, but she was still very beautiful. I stood there, frozen. Then I saw what was around the woman's neck. I pulled it off of her and opened the locket. Inside was the rest of the picture. Her and the man who was kneeling before me. And to the right, the photo was ripped off. But I knew what used to be there. I didn't hurt them, but I took the girl as a hostage. I was so mad I almost had a crush on my own sister. I stormed into Sal's office and made my sister kneel before him. As soon as Sal saw who I brought, he panicked. You knew! You knew this whole time where they were and you didn't tell me? I didn't want to see you get hurt, Joe. Why didn't you tell me? I just told you! You were always pestering Mom and Dad for money. And even when they died, your parents kept coming here, threatening me. They're not good people, Joe. I didn't want you to meet them because I knew they'd just use you. Ask your sister. The only reason I let them borrow money is so she could have a better life and leave them too. I found out that Sal was telling the truth. My biological sister, May, told me all about my parents, and how my dad basically treated her like a slave. Made her work all day long. I was glad I took her from him. I never returned her. From then on, She lived with us, and I had my men burn down their business. If that wasn't enough to tell them to stay away, I don't know what is. But if they ever come near me again, they'll regret they ever left me in that alley all those years ago.
Phantom, the new fragrance for men by Paco Rabanne.
Hey there, I'm Evan, and my greedy parents sold me to a rich man because they didn't want to take care of me anymore. Well, joke's on them, because I married his beautiful daughters and became his successor. Shout out to Shadow Savior for today's story. Watch the story until the end and propose your title ideas for the follow-up for this story for a different one. Focus on originality to have more chances to be picked. If you don't have specific ideas, make sure to give a like to the title ideas you prefer in the comments and community section. Enjoy the video! When I was very young, I'd always wondered why my mom and dad would always leave me at home. They were always going out. Sometimes they never even bothered to get me a babysitter. They'd just leave me with Hildy, our dog. It's not short of a miracle that I'm still alive to this day. Even as I grew older and started going to school, I noticed how different my parents were towards me. They never took me in the mornings or picked me up after. I would catch the bus myself, and then I'd walk home after class was done. My parents never attended any of the events we had. I played a tree in the nativity play every year, but not once did they come to see it. As I grew even more, I saw other kids' parents taking them on vacations and buying them stuff. I didn't care much for what the other kids got. I just wish my parents would also give me a gift. Any gift. By the way, talking about gifts, if I haven't told you yet, here's something you guys might need. I get a lot of comments and questions from our subscribers saying they want to start their own channel, but they just don't know how to edit video. But this new add-on is... I'll pick 3... some desert. Sometimes, I even had to sneak into our old neighbor's house to steal leftovers from her fridge. She even caught me a couple times. But each time, she never got mad or scared. She would just give me all the food I wanted, and we'd talk until it was time for bed. She would even cook me lasagna sometimes and leave it by her window so I could get it easily. All the things I had come from some relative or other. Mostly hand-me-downs from cousins or stuff they'd find discarded by the side of the road. One time, a social worker visited our house because one of the parents from school complained about the living situation my parents were providing. Or were failing to provide for me. Unfortunately, the social worker didn't even care at all. He just walked around the house and loudly proclaimed that he was just there to fulfill a quota, and that he couldn't care less about what they did to their child. My mom was actually disappointed. Ugh! And here I thought someone would finally take this stupid kid away. We should have put him up for adoption as soon as he was born. Now he's way too old, and definitely not cute enough anymore. No barren couples are gonna want this scrawny, good-for-nothing kid. Did you say adoption? Forget it. Nobody's gonna... Since you're offering... And we did have expenses while raising him. Multi-billionaire. Wow. Mr. Chairman, sir? Is this where you live? It's so big! The chairman laughed. You can call me Shuji-san. Or Dad, if you like. But I could never disrespect him by calling him his first name. He was far too big a man. Far too important. In my eyes especially. And calling him Dad just puts him on the same level as my biological father. He was clearly beyond him. Can I run one horse town? Much less a different country. And if this massive house was just a holiday house, how much more impressive was his real house. The moment we landed, we were greeted by about 20 men and women in sunglasses and suits. They all bowed in unison. Many of them had tattoos, and I soon learned that my new father was a big boss of a Yakuza organization. And not only that, he was the chairman of a group of seriously influential companies in Japan. And the reason he adopted me was because he was sick, and he needed an heir to continue the work his companies did. I was going to be his successor. But when I found out he actually had daughters, I couldn't help but ask why he needed to adopt another kid. Because they're all girls. A quintuplet at that. In Japan, a man must inherit a company. Heads of influential families would go so far as to adopt a daughter's husband. It's all in order to keep the last name going, and to ensure that the company is in the hands of the same family no matter what. It's a horrible tradition that I hope disappears one day. But nevertheless, I am under pressure to do the same. But daughters, husband, particular about what kind of boy they wanted, and I could never say no to them. And when I found you, I felt pity for what those horrible parents of yours did to you. And I knew if anyone could undo the bad they did, it was me. I actually began to cry at how kind the eye can see. And the house itself was less a house, and more a sprawling palace. The chairman's home was fit for an emperor. But even the palatial home was eclipsed when I first laid eyes on his daughters. My new adoptive sisters. They really were quintuplets. The only difference was in how they were dressed. They all looked like goddesses. It almost hurt to...
YouTube Music Premium, your personal guide to the world of music, dedicated to you.
I thought you were on the business trip. I missed you.
It almost hurt to look at them. And then I remembered. I was going to marry one of them someday. I felt like the luck. And then I remembered. I was going to marry one of them someday. And then I remembered. Won the jackpot. I was now rich, and someday I was gonna have a beautiful wife. All of the bad luck and the horrible experience I had suddenly felt like it was all worth it. Yui, Hana, Kiko, Sayuri, and Asami were on me from the moment we met. They couldn't get enough of me. And I don't know why. It's not like I was handsome or even remotely attractive. At least,
Let's have
I
another
never
join.
thought that whenever I looked in the mirror. But somehow, the sisters just never wanted to leave my side. So much so that when it came time for me to decide which of the chairman's daughters to marry, they demanded for me not to choose. Father, please, you cannot force him to marry one of us. It will break our hearts. Please, Father. What do you expect me to do, Sayuri-chan? It is time. I cannot work anymore. All these years have put a strain on me, and I need Evan to take my place. The girls began to cry. They knew the chairman didn't have long. We got sicker and sicker as the years went by, but they also wouldn't be able to stand losing me to one of their sisters. And then, Yui, shy as she was, decided to speak. Father, please, let us marry him. Let all of us marry him. Big Brother can't be just for one of us. We all love him too much. And although it was shocking to hear, I still felt she was right, and I loved all of them just as much. So that summer, the quintuplets and I got married. And in a few months, I was named successor and chairman of Yamamoto Industries. I was also inducted as the new boss of the former chairman's underground organization. I was rich, powerful, and had 5 beautiful wives. My old parents really did get the losing end of that bargain. They got 40,000, and I got a wonderful life and riches beyond even their imaginings. Shortly after our honeymoons, the former chairman passed away. I got to call him father one last time as he lay on his hospital bed, and
Let's pause it. sleep in my car. Then yeah, you know. 5 in the morning. Let's walk this door. Let's chill here.
He cried. Tears of happiness, he said. At his funeral, my parents appeared before we could go home. We saw on the news. If we'd known you were coming into this kind of family, we would have asked for more. Way more. Well, you had your chance. No! My mom shrieked as she brandished an umbrella at me. Give us what you owe us. You're worth at least millions. Give us $1 million, or else... Billions. With a B. And what? Or else what? You're gonna starve me? Why, we'll throw that dog you loved so much to the swamp. Hildy? It was always my regret that I never got to take her with me. I didn't even know she was still alive. I clicked my fingers and my bodyguards took my parents away and shoved them into the boot of a car. I confiscated their passports and they were never able to go home again. Now they live in a shack in a dump site, sifting through trash and eating food the restaurants throw away. It might be harsh, but they were garbage people. They only deserved to live the way they behaved. Oh, and I got Hildy back. She loves her new home.